Think of the various ways we use technology to share information among one another. We have text messages, emails, video chats. We can post a photo on Instagram for everyone in the world to see. Now, imagine trying to do all of those things, sending videos of your family, all of that. Imagine trying to do that without smartphones, social media, computers, or even the internet. It's hard to do. And this is how medical offices, some medical offices, are still run today, using paper charts, face-to-face meetings, and hard copies of all data without the aid of computers. Now, this leads to a very frustrating question. How can we drag these offices into the 21st century? There's a big problem with paper charts. And one of the biggest is, or the biggest, I should say, is the limited access to patient information. Documents can be lost, fall out, misfiled in somebody else's chart. The chart itself is very unorganized. It's rare that you will find an impeccably organized chart. Finding a specific document from 3 years ago is next to impossible. It may take quite some time, and you may not find it at all. What then? Sharing a medical chart with another medical professional or healthcare professional would require several hours in front of a copy machine to make a duplicate hard copy, and also all the problems that copy machine incurs. It's just a migraine-inducing process, and would take maybe days, weeks to get everything right. And this is a very serious problem for an industry handling extremely sensitive data for millions of people, responsible for our physical health and well-being. Why is it easier to share our entire day's activities with people across the globe using social media than it is to share crucial medical information with another medical facility in the same town? What if accessing and sharing this information was as simple as logging into Facebook and sharing a post? The solution to this problem is electronic medical records, or EMR for short. Having all our medical history stored digitally solves all these problems and more. And suddenly, the healthcare industry has been pulled into the electronic age. EMRs are essentially a digital version of paper charts, traditional paper charts, including info such as patient demographics, progress notes, problems, medications, vital signs, past medical history, immunizations, lab data, radiology reports, much, much more. Everything medically that has been done to a patient is recorded onto this electronic medical record. A medical professional who could access everything and anything he needs to know just by logging into a website with authorized credentials. For example, 2 medical professionals can access one patient's data simultaneously. They could share information and consult one another with one click. A doctor can view a detailed history of medication, one click. Send a prescription to a pharmacy with one click. Send the entire chart to another location, one click. And they do just about everything else associated with cloud-stored information with one click. Not to mention, all of this can be done with the smartphones in their pocket, even sending a prescription halfway across the world. Envision a world where medical information is as accessible as online banking. The professionals can view all pertinent information in a few short steps, whenever and wherever they care to do so, as long as they are authorized, as can the patients themselves. Using patient portals, patients can access their own medical chart. I've never seen my medical chart, but with EMR, you can see your own medical history in the same way that you can access your own bank account and look at all the history and records, even with a smartphone. They can use a search function and find whatever they're looking for. They can see itemized details for all procedures, history of medications taken, healthcare instructions, and treatment plans they should be following, much, much more. They would log on to a secure website and land on a home page. Several tabs line the side of the website, leading to different information in the chart: the diagnoses, medications, procedures, lab results, imaging, etc. With a couple of clicks, a patient could read their recommended treatment plan, view all medications they've taken over the years and when, pull up medical imaging of a past injury, an x-ray of a broken knee, and even communicate with their physician through this system. Professionals can also share this information with one another with the ease of sending an email. If a patient moves to another state or another country, their doctor can simply send a digital file with all their medical history to their new physician within few minutes, rather than maybe a few weeks, compared to traditional charts with copying and making a duplicate of this hard copy that they have. Paper charts are a way of the past. In this high-tech world, we shouldn't leave medical information storage decades behind. We should dedicate time and effort into using technology and streamlining our own well-being and healthcare in history in the same regard that we use technology in all other industry. If we live in a time where I can order a Tesla online and have it delivered to my door, turn on my oven with my voice, or speak to my phone as a secretary, we should be just as advanced in record keeping and access. EMRs allow us to take that leap forward and afford us that access. By making our medical charts accessible via the internet, we are bringing record keeping in healthcare into the 21st century. These systems will benefit everyone, not just those in the healthcare field, but patients as well. Efficient information storage and retrieval could be the difference between life and death. The ability to access an unconscious man's medical history by logging into a computer could prevent an ER doctor from administering a lethal dose of medication that patient happens to be allergic to. This speed of data transfer and access is the future, and indeed will save lives. I urge those of you who don't have a primary care physician or are considering a new one, keep an eye out for what system they use. And for your own well-being and for your own practicality and the doctor's practicality, make sure you choose a physician, or at least have your medical records stored and utilized using electronic medical records. It could save your life one day.